Hey guys, it's Steve from Exploding Dice Gaming here, and welcome to our next Forge World modelling series video. I've spent some time putting my Keeper of Secrets together after the last video. I've got all the limbs in place. I've left the hair tendrils off because I'm going to be painting this using my airbrush, and I don't want those to get in the way whilst I'm doing that. In order to attach the spikes on here, I spent a bit of time drilling out a hole for each one so that I could pin it in place, and that just gives it a little bit of extra strength.
Because of the way Forge World's casting process works, once you've put your model together, then you're more than likely to find that you'll have some gaps. So if you want the model to look its best, then you're going to need to fill them in. The best way to do that is with some two-part modelling putty. In this occasion, I'm using green stuff, which is easily available from Games Workshop stores, but there are other brands out there such as Milliput, which will have different properties. You'll also need some sculpting tools, which again are also available from Games Workshop stores, but you can get them from basically any hobby store. And I would also strongly recommend getting hold of some silicone brushes as well, just to help you get a nice smooth finish. To use green stuff, simply take it out of the packaging and cut off roughly what you think you'll need. And you don't want any lumps, so cut out the middle bit where the yellow and the blue are touching, because that'll have already started to cure. Next, smush the two halves together and keep kneading them until they turn a nice even shade of green. Now you just need to cut a small portion off of your ball of green stuff and apply it to your model using your sculpting tools to push it into all of the cracks. Green stuff can actually be quite sticky, so I find that it can sometimes help to dip your tools in water first to make sure that the putty is actually sticking to the model itself and not to your tools. Once you've filled the gap with green stuff, then just use one of the silicone brushes to smooth it out as much as possible. Once you've got it looking reasonably good, then you'll need to leave it alone for a bit to let the green stuff cure. It should be ready in a couple of hours, but I tend to leave it overnight just to be on the safe side. The final stage is to simply sand off the excess green stuff until you've got a really smooth join. A good way of testing to see if the join's actually going to show up once it's painted or not is to run your fingernail over it, and if you can't feel it, then you're good to go.
So you can see here that I've taken off a lot of all the excess green stuff around these joins, and it's now perfectly smooth on these. So I'm confident this isn't going to show up when I prime the model. And in order to prime the model, I'm going to use this stuff. So this is just some grey plastic primer from Halfords that's intended for priming car bodywork. I've also done the base. So this is still a little bit sticky, but this is basically some cork floor tiles which I've bought, and then I've ripped them up a little bit, and I've got 3 layers on this base here which I've glued onto the base and on top of each other using some super glue, and then I've covered the whole thing in watered down PVA, so that should give it a good bit of strength. And once that's done, once this is dry, then I'll probably spray this with some matte varnish, and then I can prime that along with the Keeper of Secrets. Okay, so the primer is now dry on our Forge World Keeper of Secrets, and this is how the model's looking. So you see we've got some nice smooth joins there on the shoulders and around the neck. And you know, in some cases you wouldn't even be able to tell that these were separate components. So I'm really pleased with that. This is now ready for painting, and I'm going to paint this using an airbrush. We've got the base there as well, and the dreadlocks. So those are all going to be painted separately, and then I'll stick those on as kind of the last thing.
And this is how my Keeper of Secrets looks now that she's finished. In order to get the skin tone, I pre-shaded and pre-highlighted using burnt umber, light brown and sand from the Vallejo Model Air range. And then over the top of that I sprayed a very watered down coat of hexed lichen from the Game Colour range. and then all of the other details were just painted by hand using Games Workshop's Citadel paints. If you've been following this series of videos from the beginning, then you now have all of the knowledge you need in order to create truly great looking Forge World models. It can be quite daunting to tackle a Forge World model, but the best advice I can give is to take your time and just enjoy the process. The extra care and patience you take will really pay off, and you'll have something that looks absolutely fantastic on the tabletop.